Shalom. I want to give all the praise, all the glory, all the honor unto Yahawah, Bahashem, Yahawahs, Bahashem, B'kah Kodash. Double honors goes out to the elder apostles of Great Millstone for teaching me the truth. Also want to acknowledge all the Akyam who are pushing the truth with sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. Alright, so I'm going to make this one a little bit quick just because it's already late and been grinding. Been one of those days just grinding in Babylon. So through the Spirit, I just picked a Psalm 77. I'm going to start at verse 1 and just go with the Spirit. It says, to the chief musician, to Jeduthun, a psalm of Asaph. I cried unto the Most High with my voice, even unto the Most High with my voice, and he gave ear unto me. And this goes for the elect, all right? When we cry, when we pray, when we, when we're out there on the street corners crying unto Yahawah, Bahashem Yahawahs, if we're of the elect, he's going to hear our voice, right? Verse 2, in the day of my trouble, I sought Yahawah, my soul ran in the night and ceased not. My soul refused to be comforted. All right, so we already know we're going to struggle and suffer, and when you come into this truth, you go through all this trouble, and pretty soon, Lord's will, it's going to be Jacob's trouble. So we're really going to be, our spirits are going to grow even more in the Spirit. So right here is Asaph says that his soul refused to be comforted, and really, that's just, you got to pray that spirit off. If your spirit's not comforted and you're going into these verses and these scriptures, this is what always will comfort. This is what's going to comfort our souls. So, in the day of trouble, and remember, we always call on Yahawah B'Shem Yahushai whenever we're in trouble. And he'll deliver us, Lord's will, if we're those men, right? Which we believe we are through the Spirit. It says, and I remembered the Most High and was troubled. I complained and my spirit was overwhelmed. And we've had these days, when brothers go off, you have your conscience messes with you. And, an overwhelming spirit, that's a tough thing, and it even comes on the elect, But the thing is we have the stability, which is the wisdom and knowledge of this truth. And John 8:32, the truth shall make you free. It says, and I remembered, verse 4, thou holdest mine eyes waking. I am so troubled that I cannot speak. When your spirit's this vexed, you need to do a fast or just pray, burn some sage, open the window. Because we've all been, even the men in this truth, we've all been in those times where our spirit's been so vexed that, we feel overwhelmed and whatnot. All right, verse 5. I have considered the days of old, the years of ancient times. And that's more wise to consider the days of old, the ancient times, than to worry about what tomorrow's going to bring. Yeah, we prophesy and we know the prophecies and we know what we're going to expect because of the Holy Spirit. But it's wise to consider the days of old, which are of ancient times, because the examples are in the scriptures. Verse 6, I call to remembrance and everything, Salakia, everything is written aforetime for our learning. All right? So it's good to consider the ancient. It's good to consider our forefathers. Good to consider the examples that the men in the scriptures who are, who Yahweh Bashem Yahushai set up for our learning. You see, I call to remembrance my song in the night. I commune with my own heart, and my spirit made diligent search. And this is part of the just being on fire in this truth. An elect man is going to be diligent. Your spirit is diligent, to the point where we're to move with wisdom. We're in that Clark Kent. We go in Clark Kent mode sometimes, right? When we're around the heathen, or sometimes even your own family family members, you go in that Clark Kent mode. But you still got to be diligent. Just look at the example of Charlotte, the Charlotte camp. They weren't diligent, and they were basically dismissed for the time being because of their lack of diligence. And that's something that we really, if you're in this truth, in this knowledge, hey man, that can happen to anybody. So that's why it's important to be diligent, because the scriptures will always redirect us and guide us. You see, will Yahweh cast off forever, and will he be favorable no more? Is his mercy clean gone from forever? Doth his promise fail forevermore? All right, and these questions, they're questions, but they're questions that, we really, through the faith, we know that you have to have the faith that Yahweh Bashem Yahushua is going to deliver you from whatever situation you're in, or whatever tribulation you're dealing with. You see? And we know through the Spirit and through faith that his promise is not going to fail. You see? It's those men who are not sincere that'll fall out of this truth because they don't believe in the promises. They don't believe in the covenants. They don't really put their trust in Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Hath the Most High forgotten to be gracious? Hath he in anger shut up his tender mercies? Salah. Right. And what does the scripture say? It says a just man shall fall 7 times and get back up. You see? And 7's a complete number. So, really in the right spirit, you really just can't wait for Babylon for the Lord to deliver us from this place, because just look around, everything's so vexing, and the more we learn, the more vexed we get, right? The more wisdom, as it increases, so does the sorrow, right? Ecclesiastes 1:18. And that's okay, because we're like, I watch all the elders, but I do happen to watch Elder Apostle Gabar quite often, and he's always talking about going in on the suffering part of this knowledge, part of this truth, part of this walk. Ecclesiastes 1:18, for in much wisdom is much grief, and he that increaseth knowledge increaseth sorrow. See, so the more your spirit's really, if you're sincere, the sorrow is going to increase, man. And really to the point where you're just going to be able to let everything go if need be, There's certain things that, in the flesh you want to hold on to, but really the right mindset is to be able to have the mindset of being able to let literally everything go and have that faith and know that, we're going to get everything back and more in the kingdom. It says, and remember, Yahweh, he's got tender mercies. It doesn't mean we test him. It doesn't mean we, we just think that, oh, well, it's always going to be good. We just got to keep staying in the spirit, no matter what this vexed world throws at us. And those mercies are tender, and what did King David say? He said something like the multiple mercies, the multiple, like, he's got mercy, like so much mercy for for his elect. As it is written, he hath care for his elect. Verse 10, and I said, this is my infirmity, but I will remember the years of the right hand of the Most High. I will remember the works of Yahweh. Surely I will remember thy wonders of old. So Asaph, he's saying again, remember the old. Like, that's the whole thing in these scriptures. We're coming back into remembrance. We come back into remembrance of everything. Starts out with the names, right? Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Starts out with the heritage, right? We're the Israelites. Starts out with the laws, statutes, commandments. Starts out with the keeping of the high holy days, right? We're coming into remembrance. We're rehearsing the righteous acts. You see? And what is this? The remembering of the wonders of old. All right? I will meditate also of all thy work and talk of thy doings, right? We testify, right? It says in Joshua 1:8, since he said about the meditation, let's get Joshua 1:8. This is one of my favorite verses. All right. So, and it's acting up. Oh, here we go. It says, this book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night, that thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written therein. For then thou shalt make thy way prosperous, and then thou shalt have good success. So this is part of the truth. Part of this truth is a man of the elect is going to be on fire. Especially, if we want to call ourselves prophets, you better be on fire, There ain't no way around that, So you got to meditate on this word day and night, right? And yeah, we balance it out, brothers, as we get experience in this thing of ours, we do get, know how to balance things out. You never want to go too far to the right or too far to the left. But, meditating, and this is all the brothers who are in this truth. I know that we're all in the same spirit where literally on the drive home from our jobs or wherever we're doing, whenever we have a chance just to think and we have quiet, we're meditating on this knowledge and meditating on this truth, thinking about, like, for instance, you might be driving down the highway and you can see the downtown of wherever city you're in, and you're just like meditating and you're picturing the destruction happened on that city, things like that. So, but this is, we don't let it depart out of our mouth. Is there a time and a place? Yes. But if you're, you know what I'm saying? If you're alone, hey, meditate on this truth. And this is what the elect do, It's really the best thing to meditate on. It's that this is what's actually going to comfort you, right? He said that his soul was not comforted. Excuse me. It says, let's see, where we at? Verse 13, the way, O Yahweh, the Most High, is in the sanctuary. Who is so great a power as our power? Right. We're dealing with the most powerful entity in existence. There's no power that has power like our power. And everybody's going to find that out. If you don't believe that right now, everybody's going to find it out. And then also, like the elder apostle Gabar, he always speaks on the name. Yahweh's going to, through that destruction that he brings, one of the things that will be magnified will be his name. And that's what the men who are in this diligence and truth, we're always defending that name, those names. We're standing stiffly for them, like it tells you in the second Esdras, standing stiffly for those names. Verse 14, thou art the Most High that doest wonders. Thou hast declared thy strength among the people. Thou hast with thine arms redeemed thy people, the sons of Jacob and Joseph. Right. And there it is. Like, we come across verses all the day long, where it just tells you what it is, man. Let me read that again. Thou hast thine arm redeemed thy people, the sons of Jacob and Joseph. Selah. I mean, come on, man. It doesn't say nothing about the heathen, you know? It's like a broken record. But, you know, we're going to keep being that broken record as the teachers, because our people are hard-headed. And really, that's all we can do until it's time to not do it, which that's not until the return of our Lord Yahawahs. You see, that's when we won't be doing the work. That's when, I mean, you know, through the Spirit, yeah, I believe we'll be diligent with our meditation and keeping the laws, but we're not going to be teaching in the kingdom, you know, because everyone in the Spirit is going to know. Every Israelite in the Spirit is going to be, natural. Verse, let's see. It says, the waters saw thee, O the Most High. The waters saw thee. They were afraid. The depths also were troubled. You see, meaning what? The depths of the oceans. This is our power, the power that we're dealing with. I mean, there's a verse, I think it was Haggai or Habakkuk. Salakia. But they mention, you know, oh, were you mad at the hills? Were you mad at the trees? You know? Like, I think it was, Habakkuk maybe. But, you know, it's because that's the power we have. Our power, Yahweh, there's no greater entity in existence that, you know, that where mountains fear, waters fear. You see? Even, you know what I'm saying? Like this, our power is so great, nature will fear the power. Right? Verse 17. The clouds poured out water, the skies sent out a sound, thine arrows also went abroad. The voice of thy thunder was in the heaven, the lightnings lightened the world, the earth trembled and shook. The way is in the sea, and thy path in the great waters, and thy footsteps are not known. Thou leddest thy people like a flock by the hand of Moses and Aaron, right, who are the prophets in this ancient Egypt. And now the Lord set up his prophets in spiritual Egypt, and we're leading the people. You know, this is our lot. This is our responsibility. This is our reasonable service, right? Is to lead the Lord's flock. So, because, hey, this is, you know, these prophecies are they're showing themselves. They're speaking. I was watching a video Elder Apostle Tahar did earlier. I believe it was a Chinese woman in China, and she had a gripe about you know, not being able to use her card, which was like a gift card, because they were requiring with facial recognition, I think it was. And pretty soon, what are they going to require? It's going to be that MOTB for you to spend your money, for you to use a bank account, for you to buy and sell, for you to be employed somewhere, for you to, you know, have all these licenses that Esau gives you, you know? So these prophecies are definitely speaking, and we're in a time where, you know, we have to be diligent for those men, man. Be diligent. This is the only thing that's going to comfort us, man. You rely on something else for comfort, and I guarantee you're going to be disappointed, you know? So I'm going to go ahead and close out with that. You know, I want to give all the praise, all the glory, all the honor unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahawahs, Bahashem, Rakakudash. Double honors goes out to the elder apostles of great